Okay, just got back from the shops. I've done $193.94 at Coles, and that's going to be probably almost 2 weeks worth of stuff. I'll just flip this video around now and have a little quick look at what I actually bought. Okay, so here's the receipt, $193.94. There's enough here probably for, I'd say, almost 2 weeks worth of meals. Some of them are going to be put in the freezer though and not be eaten this week. So start with, we've got here ham, that'll be just for sandwiches, possibly for back to school. Got 2 packets of chicken breast, $9 a kilo for the Coles RSPCA chicken breast fillets. It's the same price whether you get it in the packet or whether you get it at the deli, and so I just picked it up off the shelf because of the lines at the deli at the time. So these will be a few things. I'm doing a freezer head, like a freezer cooking fajitas. So these will be sliced up with capsicum and some other bits and pieces and some seasoning, put in the freezer, and then when we're ready to cook them, they'll go in the slow cooker and be served from there straight into the tortillas. There's also a chicken pesto alfredo that I'll be doing. It'll be a pasta dish, like a pasta bake. I'll prepare it, put it in the freezer, and then it'll be baked sort of fresh from the freezer. Probably a few other dishes, but so I've got 8 breasts there. And back. Pork shoulder roast, I'll be making a slow cooker pulled pork with that. Sausages for Australia Day, these were on special, 2 for $10. I probably will manage to go through most of those. The round steak, it was $10.34, it was $22 a kilo. I'm also going to do another slow cooker fajitas with that. I'll be slicing it up, putting it with capsicum, onions, seasoning into the freezer, and same thing again, that'll go into the slow cooker, from the freezer into the slow cooker to cook and then be served on tortillas, possibly with rice. That recipe for the fajita, slow cooker fajitas, comes from Jama ringaroundtherosies.net website. We've got here corned silverside, that'll go in the slow cooker as well one night. Any leftovers from this, we'll eat it with boiled potatoes or mashed potatoes and some greens. Anything left over from this will be mixed with some frozen chopped up veg, and it will become a filling for a cottage pasty if there's no leftovers. There's no leftovers, but if there is, that's what will happen with that. A ton of bacon. This is like so much cheaper from the deli counter, so I did end up going and lining up to get it. It's $11.50 Primo brand streaky bacon, $11.50 a kilo from the deli counter, but $22 a kilo I think if you buy it in the packages. Some of this will get used, most of it will get frozen. We use it in pasta bakes, in chicken dishes, for breakfast, all sorts of things. Frozen blueberries for blueberry muffins for back to school. I'm making a big batch cooking of veggie chili. It'll go in the freezer for me for nights when I forget to organise food for myself. And veggie sausages for Australia Day tomorrow. Oh, and margarine because we need some. Almost out of margarine. I've got to stop talking when I'm rustling it. You can't hear. Capsicum for the fajitas. Normally I buy these loose, not packaged, but because they're on special, it worked out to be $7.90 a kilo in here, but they were like $8, $9 a kilo each loose, so it just worked out much cheaper to buy them like this. Bananas for snacking, cucumber for salads over the next couple of nights or snacking, carrots for salads, sandwiches or snacking, lettuce for salads. So we have some seedless grapes and some oranges. They're going to be cut up and put into little sandwich bag containers and frozen for back to school. You can eat them when they're frozen, they're delicious, and if they defrost, they're not bad either. The grapes have a bit of a different texture, but they don't usually get fully defrosted, but my kids don't seem to mind them. And the oranges are perfectly fine. Onion for the fajitas, apples for snacks, mushroom. I'm doing a creamy mushroom chicken sauce, and that'll either be for pot pies or over pasta. That's just again, it's another one of those freezer meal things. Mushrooms don't do too well in the freezer, but because it's going into like a big creamy sauce, they'll be chopped up and stuff, it'll be fine. What have we got over here? Oh, okay. Chipotle seasoning for the fajita. I'm running low on quite a few of the herbs, otherwise I would have just made my own mix, and I might still supplement this with some of the stuff that I've got already, but that was just so that I didn't run out of stuff to make them, because I've got to make chicken and beef slow cooker, freezer mix. These are just, you know, when you get desperate. So 2 packets of oven chips that sit in the freezer. These were half price, $5 a box. I got 1 original, 2 sweet chili. These again are just things that sit in the freezer out the back in case of emergency. This is the sauce I'm using for the creamy mushroom chicken slow cooker thingy. That's my vegetarian chili. Cheese because we need it for pasta baked sandwiches. We go through it for everything. This is pasta. This is pasta for the pesto alfredo. We're having meatballs one night as well. I've already got the meatballs, but we'll have it with that. What else? Lamingtons for Australia Day. Some cheap soft drinks for Australia Day. Hot dog buns for Australia Day. I would have bought the Coles brand ones, which are like half the price, but they didn't have any, so $7 for these it is. Eggs, because we always go through eggs. We use them for breakfast, making French toast, zucchini slice, cakes, muffins, all those sort of things. Tuna, some of that will be for just for sandwiches on weekends or for back to school, and some of it will also be for sushi. We're having sushi one night. Bread, 2 loaves of bread. I'll go and sit in the freezer until we need it probably. And sandwiches, breakfast, toast, that sort of thing. And then chicken salt because we'd run out, and cinnamon because we'd run out. The kids really like having cinnamon toast. I use it for baking and things like that. So there we go. That's my nearly $200 worth of shopping. That's up quick. Okay, so once I'd unpacked all those groceries, and I forgot to add, there was also a bag of ice. The girls had unpacked the shopping and they put that straight into the freezer for me. Once I'd unpacked all the shopping, got it all put away in the fridges and things, I sat down and wrote a meal plan for the week with, or the fortnight with, the items that I bought. So, like I said in the video, we'd be doing fajitas that go into the freezer, a creamy chicken and mushroom concoction that we use for pot pies or served over pasta. So I wrote all this down so I wouldn't forget it. And then also using some of the things you already have. So for example, one of the things we'll do is sushi. I bought the tuna today. We've already got sushi rice in the cupboard, and we've already got the sushi paper in the cupboard. So that's something, this doesn't go by day, but this is something when I'm trying to work out what we're going to have each day, I can sort of pull things from off here. Tonight we're going to have the chicken stir fry with noodles, and we've got some spring rolls in the freezer, so we'll use those up. So there we go, that's all of that. And then I think there's about 13 or 14 dinners in here. There's also meatballs. The meatballs were already in the freezer. I'll be defrosting those and cooking those with a tomato sauce over pasta for dinner. And then we've also got things our sandwiches, things we'll be having for lunch. Some of these can be for school, some will just be at home, like peanut butter, because most schools have a rule that you can't take peanut butter because of peanut allergies. And obviously a toasted baked bean and cheese sandwich would be no good for school either, but so they're options for lunches. Got some baking and things that I'll be doing. Some of those will go, like the muffins will go into the freezer, the grapes and orange will go into the freezer, pikelets can go into the freezer and be used for school. The scrolls, some of them are savoury, some of them sweet, but we'll also use them at home as snacks and things as well. These are just some things to remind me of the things we've already got. We've got baked beans, we've got soup, so we can always have those sort of foods. We've got snacks, we've got jelly I can make up. And then anything that's left over, it's just to sort of remind me. We can make into curries, soup, chili. We'll make pizza. I usually use my Thermomix to make a really quick, really nice pizza dough. We've got tomato paste or pizza sauce. We've got cherry tomatoes in our garden and basil in our garden. I do have a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and we always have cheese anyway. And any leftovers meats and things like that, capsicum can go on there. Any fruit that's starting to look not so great, I might make that into a cobbler or bake it into muffins. So this sort of stays on the fridge, and then quite often what I'll do is next to it, if I decide that, so for example tonight being Thursday we're having chicken stir fry, I might just write Thursday next to that and then write Friday next to sushi, because I've decided we're going to have sushi on Friday. But I don't necessarily plan ahead for the whole 2 weeks. These are just all the meals that are available to us. Some of them are kind of last minute ones, like the chicken tenders and chips are things I can pull from the freezer. Some of them will be things I'll need to pull out of the freezer the day before and put into the slow cooker. Okay, so I stopped being slack and just did it. This is the chicken fajita mix. So it's chicken, some tin tomatoes, capsicum, onion, seasonings. This one is the beef. It's thinly sliced around steak. And the same for the capsicum and seasonings. These will go in the freezer, and then when we're having the fajitas, they'll spend the day in the slow cooker, and then they'll be just scooped out with a slotted spoon to put into tortillas or maybe serve over rice. The actual recipe is from Jama. Her website is ringaroundtherosies.net. She has an art of freezer cooking ebook that you can just download. It's got the recipes in there. And then all the leftover little bits of capsicum, I'll just chop them all up, put them in here. I'll stick them in the freezer. They can go, silly to waste them. They'll go onto pizza, they'll go in pasta sauce, fried rice probably. We're going to have a fried rice this week. So probably, you can use them in stir fries, you can use them in just about anything, but these will probably go onto pizza or into fried rice. It's less waste, and I'm already here. It means when I'm actually making that stuff later on, I don't have to stand there and chop it. I'm going to go now. I've washed my hands, but I haven't sterilised them, so I haven't picked the baby up, and he's getting a bit upset with me. So I'm going to go now. I still need to make the mushroom chicken one. It'll be the same size bag, chopped up chicken, the sauce, chopped up mushroom, same thing. It'll go in the freezer. It'll get put in the slow cooker to cook. And I also have a chicken pesto Alfredo pasta bake. That's basically cooked pasta, pesto, diced chicken, all sort of stirred together, put into a tray, topped with cheese, and then that will go in the freezer as well. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. And both of those, yeah, and that just comes out and goes into the oven. So that'll be 4 pre-prepared things that we come sitting in the freezer for maybe another week. Maybe we'll eat it this week, maybe we'll eat it for a few weeks. And then, yeah, all the other stuff that you saw. Okay, cheers, bye.